For 200 amp electrical service, the wire size from the meter to the disconnect switch should be number 4 AWG aluminum or copper. From the disconnect switch to the main panel, use number 2 AWG aluminum or copper. Yes, the wire from the disconnect switch to the main panel must be in conduit. This is required by the National Electrical Code, or NEC, to protect the wire from damage and prevent electrical hazards. The meter socket should be grounded through its own ground rod or an electrical ground system. The disconnect switch does not require grounding if it is mounted on a grounded metal enclosure. If it is not, it should be grounded to the meter socket ground. The main panel is grounded through its own ground rod or an electrical ground system. Here is a recommended grounding method. Firstly, ground the meter socket to its ground rod. Secondly, connect the ground wire from the disconnect switch to the ground bar in the meter socket. Thirdly, install a separate ground rod at the main panel and ground it to the main panel ground bar. Ensure that all electrical connections are made in accordance with the NEC and local building codes. It is advisable to consult with a licensed electrician for proper installation. Choosing the correct wire size is essential for electrical safety and proper functioning of your electrical system. Undersized wires can overheat, leading to insulation damage, fire hazards, and voltage drop, which can damage appliances. The NEC provides tables and guidelines for determining the appropriate wire size based on the amperage and length of the circuit. For 200 amp service, using number 4 AWG copper or aluminum from the meter to the disconnect and number 2 AWG copper or aluminum from the disconnect to the main panel ensures that the wires can safely handle the current without overheating. Conduit is required for the wire run from the disconnect to the main panel to provide physical protection to the wires. Conduit protects the wires from damage due to impact, abrasion, moisture, and other environmental factors. It also helps to prevent electrical hazards by containing any potential electrical faults. The NEC specifies the types of conduit that are suitable for different applications, such as rigid metal conduit, electrical metallic tubing, or PVC conduit. Grounding is a critical aspect of electrical safety. It provides a path for fault current to flow back to the source, tripping a breaker or fuse and de-energizing the circuit. This helps to prevent electrical shock and equipment damage. The meter socket should be grounded to a ground rod or an electrical ground system to ensure that it is at the same potential as the earth. The disconnect switch, if mounted on a grounded metal enclosure, does not need separate grounding. However, if it is mounted on a non-conductive surface, it should be grounded to the meter socket ground. The main panel should have its own ground rod or connection to an electrical ground system. The recommended grounding method involves connecting the meter socket to its ground rod, connecting the ground wire from the disconnect switch to the ground bar in the meter socket, and installing a separate ground rod at the main panel. This ensures that all components are properly grounded and that there is a low impedance path for fault current to flow. Always follow the NEC and local building codes when making electrical connections. These codes provide detailed requirements for wiring, grounding, and other aspects of electrical installations. Consulting with a licensed electrician is highly recommended, especially for complex installations like a 200 amp service. A qualified electrician can ensure that the installation is done safely and in compliance with all applicable codes. The wire size requirements mentioned are based on standard NEC guidelines. However, it is important to consider factors such as the length of the wire run and the ambient temperature when determining the appropriate wire size. Longer wire runs will experience greater voltage drop, which may require a larger wire size to compensate. Higher ambient temperatures can also reduce the ampacity of the wire, requiring a larger wire size. The type of insulation used in the wire also affects its ampacity. The NEC provides tables that list the ampacity of different types of wires based on their insulation type and temperature rating. When selecting conduit, choose a type that is suitable for the environment in which it will be installed. For example, if the conduit will be exposed to direct sunlight, use a UV-resistant type. If the conduit will be buried underground, use a type that is rated for direct burial. Ensure that the conduit is properly supported and secured to prevent it from sagging or becoming damaged. Ground rod should be driven into the ground to a depth that ensures good contact with the earth. The NEC specifies the minimum depth and spacing requirements for ground rods. The ground wire should be securely connected to the ground rod using a listed connector. All electrical connections should be made using approved methods and materials. Use wire connectors that are rated for the size and type of wire being used. Ensure that all connections are tight and properly insulated. When working with electricity, always take safety precautions. Turn off the power to the circuit before making any connections. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to prevent injury or property damage. The information provided is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a licensed electrician for specific recommendations and to ensure that your electrical installation is safe and in compliance with all applicable codes. Proper grounding is essential for protecting people and equipment from electrical shock and damage. A properly grounded electrical system provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, causing a breaker or fuse to trip and energizing the circuit. This prevents the voltage from rising to dangerous levels, which can cause electrical shock or fire. The grounding system also helps to reduce electrical noise and interference, which can improve the performance of sensitive electronic equipment. The NEC requires that all electrical systems be grounded in accordance with its provisions. The specific grounding requirements vary depending on the type of system and the application. However, the basic principles of grounding remain the same. The grounding system should provide a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source. The grounding system should be connected to a grounding electrode, such as a ground rod or a metal water pipe. The grounding system should be properly sized to handle the available fault current. The grounding system should be inspected and tested regularly to ensure that it is functioning properly. Improper grounding can have serious consequences. If the grounding system is not properly installed or maintained, it can create a dangerous situation. A faulty grounding system can allow the voltage to rise to dangerous levels, which can cause electrical shock or fire. It can also interfere with the operation of sensitive electronic equipment. It is important to ensure that your electrical system is properly grounded. If you are not sure whether your system is properly grounded, contact a qualified electrician to inspect it. The electrician can test the grounding system to ensure that it is functioning properly and make any necessary repairs or upgrades. Grounding is not the same as bonding, although the terms are often used interchangeably. Grounding is the connection of an electrical system to the earth. Bonding is the connection of metal parts of an electrical system to each other. Bonding helps to create a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source, which is essential for safety. The NEC requires that all metal parts of an electrical system be bonded together. This includes metal conduit, metal enclosures, metal equipment, and metal water pipes. Bonding is typically accomplished by using bonding jumpers or bonding screws. Bonding jumpers are short lengths of wire that are used to connect metal parts together. Bonding screws are screws that are designed to make a good electrical connection between metal parts. Proper bonding is essential for safety. It helps to prevent electrical shock and fire by creating a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source. It also helps to reduce electrical noise and interference. Ensure that all metal parts of your electrical system are properly bonded together. If you are not sure whether your system is properly bonded, contact a qualified electrician to inspect it. The electrician can test the bonding system to ensure that it is functioning properly and make any necessary repairs or upgrades. The NEC contains detailed requirements for grounding and bonding electrical systems. These requirements are designed to ensure that electrical systems are safe and reliable. It is important to follow the NEC requirements when installing or modifying an electrical system. The NEC is updated every 3 years. It is important to use the latest edition of the NEC when working on electrical systems. The NEC is available from the National Fire Protection Association. In addition to the NEC, many local jurisdictions have their own electrical codes. These codes may be more stringent than the NEC. It is important to follow the local codes when installing or modifying an electrical system. Local codes are typically available from the local building department. When working on electrical systems, it is important to be aware of the potential hazards. Electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take precautions to prevent injury. Always turn off the power to the circuit before working on it. Use insulated tools and wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as gloves and safety glasses. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to do the work. Electrical work can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions to prevent injury or property damage. Remember to always consult with a licensed electrician for proper installation, ensuring adherence to the National Electrical Code and local building regulations for electrical connections.